Well, there was another piece of major news on Capitol Hill yesterday. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell announced he will be stepping down as the upper chamber's Republican leader this November and leaving the Senate at the end of his term in 2026. The 82-year-old McConnell explained his decision on the Senate floor.
One of life's most underappreciated talents is to know when it's time to move on to life's next chapter. So I stand before you today, Mr. President, and my colleagues, to say this will be my last term as Republican leader of the Senate. I'm immensely proud of the accomplishments I've played some role in obtaining for the American people. I still have enough gas in my tank to thoroughly disappoint my critics, and I intend to do so with all the enthusiasm with which they've become accustomed.
First elected to the Senate from Kentucky in 1984, McConnell has led the GOP caucus since 2007, making him the longest-serving party leader in the Senate's history. Jonathan Martin, you're writing about this. What's the reaction, first of all, to his announcement? And also, who are the contenders waiting in the wings potentially to replace him?
Well, the reaction is not surprise on the news, but surprise on the timing. I think it was widely assumed, Nika, that he would step down from his leadership post after the elections this fall. But the fact that he revealed this in February, just 2 months into the new year, I think speaks to the political challenges that he's facing. And this has not been a pleasant season for Mitch McConnell. Somebody that he despises, Donald Trump, is about to become his party's nominee for the third consecutive campaign. His party is drifting towards a sort of isolationism that he finds frankly revolting. And he is perhaps most painfully of all seeing his own power sort of ebbing in the Senate. And he has coveted being Senate leader for years and years. He finally got the job, and he served, obviously breaking the record as the longest serving Senate leader, only to see his power really sort of slow at the end as a handful of younger colleagues have challenged him. So it's not been pleasant for him. And I think he's trying to get ahead of the jailer here, if you will. He's trying to go out on his own terms. He does not want to be forced out by either a doctor's orders or a rebellion of his colleagues. He's trying to do it now and make the best of a tough situation. Look, there's 3 obvious figures who are looking at this in the current Senate. They're all named John, so it makes it kind of easy for us. John Barrasso of Wyoming, John Cornyn of Texas, and John Thune of South Dakota. I think it's more complicated than that. That's sort of the shorthand, Mika. I think that this is hugely contingent on who wins the presidential election. If Trump wins, this is still his party. I think he wants to have a say in who the next leader is, and he could find somebody beyond the 3 Johns. If Trump loses, and this is purely a choice of the senators, I think John Thune starts with an advantage.
So, Jonathan, let's speak about Mitch McConnell's legacy here. Sort of a contentious relationship with Trump, but inconsistent. Let's remember he didn't vote to convict Trump in that second impeachment trial.
Crucial,
Which had he with votes there, maybe Donald Trump would not be running for office again right now.
Exactly.
He's also said he'd probably endorse Trump again. His camp has signaled that. But it seems to me, speak about his time, what he's meant to the upper chamber, but it really seems like his impact might have been on the judiciary.
Yeah, if you look at the sort of sweep of his career in the Senate, there's no landmark piece of legislation that he's really connected to. He's going to be best known, I think, in history for how he shaped the Supreme Court. He sat on one nomination for almost a year, and he moved to second within a matter of weeks. And I think getting that 6-3 conservative majority on the court, I think is central to his legacy. And that's the great irony, because the man he despises, he will go down in history linked to. They are the conjoined twins of the modern GOP, Donald Trump and Mitch McConnell, because those are the judges that, of course, Trump put forward and McConnell confirmed that have so shaped this court. And by the way, the same judges that overturned Roe versus Wade and probably ensured that McConnell would serve his final 2 years as leader in the minority.
Jonathan, is it a done deal that McConnell still will endorse Trump? And how soon are you hearing that it will be? Or could this could he possibly keep it out there float it and hold off for a bit.
I wrote my column today at Politico about this. He is going to support Trump. It's a matter of when, not if. Mitch McConnell is a man of the Senate, but he's also a party man. He is a partisan through and through. Politics for him is first, second, and third. And he's going to get on board with the nominee. I don't think he'll do so with any enthusiasm, but he wants to retake control of the Senate. And I think he recognizes a divided party is going to undermine his party's chances of taking back control of the Senate. And so he wants to have the party singing with one voice about their nominee, and he's going to do that. Look, I think McConnell knows that what happened in 2016 with Trump created challenges for his party, and he wants to be, I think, on board with walking away from the leadership with a majority rather than a minority.